Hello, everybody. Welcome to class today. I am joined for the first of us by my dear good colleague and wonderful friend, Ms. Lilith. Hi, Ms. Lilith.
Hi.
Excellent. Today is the
Uh,
day of the field trip. So if you are coming on the field trip and have already, spoken to me about it and given me your permission slips, then you can hop on into the Collab channel and that will be the place to be. If it isn't, Night Gardenia as well.
I did.
Hi.
This is where we went for the field trip. Hello, I'm here. I'm on the field trip. I'm very excited.
It
Field
seems
trip.
many of you are.
Field trip.
Yeah, if everything is as it is to expected to be, goodness, do I have words today? Then our wonderful friend Toad will also be joining us at some point. But in addition, anyone who is here and wants to hop in and is already part of the Collab server, you can hop into the Collab channel as well and just, do some participate. Night Gardenia, if you want to open up Roll20 and go to the practical exams page.
Uh huh. You were so incredibly vague about everything and the amount of fear I have.
Oh, you too.
I kept trying to ask for more details.
I just rolled with it.
You would have it no other way, wouldn't you? Knowing things beforehand is boring.
I trust the process and I would never stop you from doing your thing. However, the fact that this is how you've chosen to approach the field trip has raised many alarms, and I'm so glad that I'm here to represent our dear cleric and fiend friend in screaming and freaking out so much. I apologize in advance for both your ears, because I'm sure some amount of yelling, screaming, crying, frothing at the mouth will be involved. Okay.
Speaking of my ears, I need to turn Aster down.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Let's see if we can. Don't need this one. Don't need this one. I'm getting rid of the Foogies that aren't here. I had so many of them loaded up.
Mm-hmm.
We need the one that is...
There's an additional Spectator S in here. I wonder who that is.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think that's this Cosmos camera. Oh, is it not yours?
Oh no, it totally
Look,
is.
it's
It's the way that
Okay.
we are keeping the map visible to everyone without giving everyone all of my secret and juicy details.
Ah, excellent.
Fair enough. Is there a way to get rid of the big squares?
Yeah, over in the
Oh yes.
left...
If you go to the settings and you go under, I think it's yes. No, is it graphics? Is it personalization?
You'll go into audio and video, and then there is a second tab under that says video display. When you click that one, you can set player video avatar size to names only.
Yay! Okay. I did not expect this to start with me not knowing
Sister
how to use
Ageha
technology.
is also here. Sister Ageha, do you wanna hop in and participate in the thing also? Because you totally could.
Ageha, get in here!
Field trip.
Field trip, field trip, field
Field
trip.
trip. Field trip.
Hop right on in.
The poor morning of Rev and Cross. It should have been me!
Well, Sister Ageha, you can join in literally whenever you like, because it will be seamless and not be a thing. Because Play That John also will be here shortly.
Yee.
In the meantime, though...
This music is so soothing and I am still freaking out.
I'm scared. Are we rolling dice today?
It's
I'm
not
rolling dice.
impossible, but I would not expect to roll any dice unless things go in directions where it may become entirely necessary.
This is only scaring me more.
Suffer. So anyway, suffer so much. Wonderful. And if it isn't my dear friend Toad as well. Hello, play that John.
Hello, everyone.
It's so good to see you, friend.
How are you, Frog? Or Toad? Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Either works. I'm doing well. How about yourselves?
Everyone
Well, you
seems
can-
to be
Right.
having some stress, I think. Wonderful. Well then, shall we get ourselves started?
Works for me.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Unless we want the stall so that Ageha can heal and protect us. Hey, this is a super safe field trip, right, Professor?
100% so. The classroom is bustling with the usual sounds of students waiting, rustling their papers, opening and closing bags. But this time, it's in preparation for the field trip. Key Lake is, naturally, a couple days away by caravan, and everyone is eager to join up and head out. The professor, however, is not there. It's getting dangerously close to the normal start time of class, which was the agreed upon departure time from the Conjuration Tower. There is, however, a tightly rolled scroll on the podium where the professor usually stands.
I mean, is this the part where we're playing tabletop? Apparently, I would like to read the scroll.
The scroll is rolled tightly and has a wax seal on it in blue, red, green, and yellow wax, sort of swirled together. The seal is a wizard's hat. You recognize it as the one that the professor uses. When you pick the scroll up, the seal instantly breaks, and the scroll rolls out in your hand. You who hold this scroll. Hello, good day. I'm sorry to foist this on you, but the trip has to happen or else you all will lynch me. I am currently engaged in something of particular import from which I unfortunately cannot reliably leave without things going poorly. Therefore, you, holding the scroll, are now responsible for getting everyone to the admin building for departure. Thanks. Signed, the professor.
All right, it's teacher's aid time. I am so ready to organize the class and lead all of my excited classmates and compatriots to the admin building. Should we do roll call first?
Currently in the classroom, there are many faces that you have seen before, a couple faces that you don't really remember, but many of them are quite ready and eager and willing, it seems. There in class, of course, is the ever-reliable Ms. Lilith and John the Toad, in addition to several others, which is
I assume all
the shorthand for if anyone else shows up later, they were totally here.
Totally. Is there a whiteboard?
There is a
Or
blackboard.
like a chalkboard? Yeah. I'm gonna write on it in big, big letters, like, field trip, people go to admin building, so that if anyone is late, they know where to go.
As soon as you write the words field and trip, a little cry of joy just kind of ripples through the classroom. Everyone's like, whoa, field trip!
Hell yeah.
So, The players hear rampant and loud screaming from Cross and Rev, who are there in the classroom. Of course they are. Of course you are coming with us. There is also an amiibo missing from the stack that generally stays in the classroom.
Okay, so
Because it's canon
Lollies on
that the professor has a stack of amiibos.
yes, they're very important. I would.
Do we know which, since we've seen this stack so many times?
It is the one that looks like the recolored version of Princess Peach.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
This makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, as the message on your blackboard's beginning to get read, you are able to watch many of the people in the classroom begin to shoulder their bags, get their things together, buckle the belts, and you head down to the base of the tower. The base of the tower is wide. The doors to the inside are also extremely large. Maybe 15, 20 feet tall or so, intricately carved and woven in with magical sigils. And the doors themselves are actually often not opened, on the grounds that there are so many floors to the tower that most of the time translocation magic is used to get between floors. There are several spaces on the door that have been worn down over time, having been touched so many times, that essentially act as the touch here and you will be moved to the X floor, where X is the floor that you have chosen. So, outside the tower, there is no one, and then suddenly, thump, 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 a ton of people have come out. You and your classmates. About 30 of you or so are here. Standing outside, you all note a familiar sort of personage that you have seen a few times before. This is the gnomish fellow, Professor Nestor Yimble of the Divination School. He has a mirror in one hand, and he is leaning against one of the statues outside, staring into it intently, almost like vibrating with the intensity with which he is looking into it. And when you start to appear, he looks up. "Nah! Oh, it's just you. Yes, wonderful. Good. The professor told me to make sure that all of you get to the correct place in front of the administration building. I'm not exactly sure why it is that he's not here, and I haven't really been able to look that far ahead, but the way that I see it, if he's looking for some help, then it will be help that I give him. So, who's in charge of our little group here?"
I give a salute and say, thank you for helping out our professor, and I hold up my little scroll and says, I picked this up, so I'm in charge today.
Ah, wonderful. So he pulled that trick again, did he? Well, he used to do that quite a lot more often when there were fewer of us to help around with things. But in any case, wonderful then. All of you follow me. And he takes the mirror and sticks it into his bag and shoulders it over the left shoulder and begins to, almost too quickly, walk toward the administration building, which is here on the central portion of the map. I gotta get rid of this so that y'all can see it. There we go. The administration building is the central building. It is where everything sort of happens. And if you've enrolled here, you've been here many times. This is where you do paperwork. This is where you make sure that you've got like your tuition paid up. This is where you get your allotment of like approved uniforms if you come from a culture that does the kind of dress that is deemed inappropriate in Teme Velt, or uniforms and clothing that will fit your body if you have a strangely shaped body in comparison to normal humans. You've been here plenty of times. And outside of the administration building, once the lot of you gather, Professor Yimble, you can see him, like, continually, like, his hand drifts towards his bag, and then he kind of shakes his head and puts his hands in his pockets, and he, just sort of, like, keeps, like, scrunching his nose up, and he'll adjust his hat a little bit. He seems very nervous. It's normal for him, but he's nervous nonetheless. And he takes the scroll that you've got and unrolls it and looks at it and holds it up to the light, and then he rolls it back up and he puts it back in your hand and he says, "Okay, so it seems that everything is in order then. Your caravan is going to be leaving from the southern exit between the Illusion and Enchantment Towers, south of the student dormitories, in about 1 hour or so. As far as I can tell, nothing bad should happen within that next hour, but, well, you know, you are all in charge of your own destinies. I can only see so many of them. Is there anything that you need from me?"
I did have a question. So I know you helped out with the professor's Bard field trips, and that, there was a bit of odd interference on our way back both times. Has the professor asked you about that?
Yes, that, the spell is still technically experimental. It's part of the research project that I've been working on. Clairvoyance and clairaudience, of course, are the ones that most people do, but clairexperience now, that's the one that I'm developing. And of course, there are still some bugs and glitches and things in it. It's still under development, you see. We're working on making sure that that sort of thing doesn't happen anymore. Sorry about all of that.
Oh, no, I wasn't trying to admonish you. I'm very appreciative that you gave us the opportunity.
Of course. It seems that the alternate universe where the professor became a bard, what nonsense is that? It seems to be very popular with all of the students, and I keep getting more and more requests, I suppose, to do more of them. Very few of them actually come from the professor, as it turns out. But, well, you know, you must run your things through the professor before you can do them with me. After all, none of you are in the divination school, of course. You're all in the conjuration school, and we might be next door neighbors, but that doesn't really mean a lot in the paperwork, you know.
Well, apologies for any trouble. We are a very enthusiastic class.
So I've gathered. I've heard plenty of the things that have been asked from our dear alchemist Thalen. It seems that you've all done quite a lot of work for your studies and for your own pleasure as well. I'm glad to have such a group of wonderful and experiential students here on the campus. If there's nothing else, though, I do have to go. I've got some things that I need to make sure happen and things that I make sure don't happen.
Oh yes, of course. Thank you very much.
And does anyone else who is here need to ask anything or say anything? And he looks over at Lilith and Toad.
No, I think Aster has handled the bulk of it. Thank you, Aster, and no, fairly well. Thank you so much for pointing us in the right direction.
Of course.
Don't have anything.
Wonderful then.
Reversed card seems to have one.
I see. Yes. What can I do for you over there? Aren't you the one that we've... yes, I recognize you. I've seen you in some of my divinations before. You're the one that has been deemed the campus security mechanism, I think it is. You'll have to forgive me for the initial, let's call it an opinion as to what may have happened if we employed you this way, but so far nothing bad has happened, so I stand corrected, I suppose. And he kind of does this, like, big, sort of, like, forced grin at that. you all remember that that Professor Cosmo had mentioned at least once that when Rev was given the opportunity to reside on campus as a defense mechanism, Professor Yimble protested loudly against it, citing the divinations that he had seen, wherein fire and brimstone and destruction and etc., etc. But if there's nothing else, then if you'll excuse me, I do must be on my way.
Is it possible to dig deeper using insight? Is it possible that he's more nervous or anxious than usual? I mean, is this typical for him, or is this a higher level than usual?
Now, Toad, do you have any relevant skills that you think might be useful in figuring that out? Anything you've trained in? Anything that narratively would make sense?
I think that Toad has always had an interest in humans and an interest in people or humanoids, and because of that has always sort of studied their mannerisms and sort of made a study of humans. And I think that sort of manifests as a bit of an insight, just sort of like an empathy or sort of an interest in how humans differ from him as a character, or as a non that he can sort of how humans are, or participate in their culture. So I think he's pretty observant as to that sort of thing.
Excellent, excellent. Then yeah, it would stand to reason that your observation of Professor Yimble, whom you have met before, does seem to indicate that there's a slightly greater level of like nervousness about him. It's not clear why, but you do keep seeing him like reach back and touch the bag to make sure that the mirror is still there, you would expect. Otherwise, though, it seems, I mean, he's a jumpy person. Anyone who can see multiple levels of a future must be jumpy all the time.
Yeah, I want to ask him, but I'm not going to, because, yeah, I think that's too direct. I'll wait to see after he leaves if Night Gardenia knows anything about mirrors.
All right, stands to reason then. The Professor Yimble, sort of like roughs his collar up a little bit, pulls the hat down a little tighter, and then turns and disappears back the direction that you guys came through the library between the admin and the Conjuration building, which you guys went through once in the most recent practical exam, except for in that version of it, the library was deserted and nearly destroyed. But he sort of disappears into that one.
Not that.
Yeah, I mean, all of you guys are in the completely normal version of this world and not the, like, horrible post-apocalyptic, weirdly geometric one.
So there's 4 different libraries. Is Thelen in all of them or just one of them?
Thelen is only in the northwestern library, because that is also under, like, in the American version, the first floor is library, second floor is library, third floor is library, but basement 1 and below are archives. The other libraries just go library all the way down.
Okay. The urge to check on Thelen while we wait here for an hour is very large, but also, what if people need to know where to go? And so, like, in front of administration building, not where Caravan is coming. Caravan is coming
south of the dormitories.
Down at the bottom of the map.
Okay. So, and did he drop us off there, or he just...
He's left you at the northern entrance to the administration building, where the Cosmo token currently is.
Okay. Weird that he left us here and not over there where we actually need to be. Because now the whiteboard tells people to go here, but if we leave to go to the Caravan, they won't know where we went.
With a few minutes of that sort of mulling across your mind, another fellow that you have seen before. This one, a small goblin with a leather apron and a big hammer across one shoulder, approaches. This is Hoji, the artificy teacher, or the head of the School of Artificers, I suppose. They, of course, are in the annex to the northwest that is outside of this map. Obviously, campus grounds could not be expanded at the time, so they're still working on when that might possibly happen. But Hoji, who is the mother of the artificer apprentice that you all met the time that you went to the artificer's market, whose name was Genmai, approaches with her hammer over one shoulder, and she looks around, sees the big group of you, and then pulls her mask down around her neck and smiles a big smile full of like needly sharp teeth. And she goes,
"Ah, if it isn't you lot. Well, I'm glad that I caught you. I was worried that you were going to leave a little bit early. I'm going to be one of your escorts for the time being. You see, I have to make sure that you get to the ferry okay. And, well, the administration was expecting Cosmo to do it, but, he's busy right now, and I'm the only one that could, spend those couple days away from normal work. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with you down to the lake."
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, of course. We'll start heading out from here in about, 15 or 20 minutes. Time is kind of like a little wobbly sort of for me, honestly. As long as we get where we're going, it's kind of okay. You know what I'm saying? And she tinks her hammer on her metal fist, and she just gives like another big grin.
So,
the rest of the students that are normally there, now numbering up to about 40 or so, have finally gathered. Hoji, of course, is also there. She's got like a hip flask that she keeps reaching down, popping the cork off of, and then taking a big swig of.
He's drinking on the job.
She's an artificer. What do you want?
Yeah, she's chaperoning at the moment, so I don't know if this is official job, It's sort of extracurricular. Did the professor say what he was...
we're taking, like, the caravan ride and the ferry ride when we are in the class of teleport?
The answer to that one, Night Gardenia, is because teleporting like 40 people all at once is difficult to do. And spending many spell slots at the same time is deemed wasteful by the administration. Plus, the fact that you guys have like you've got basically an entire week's worth of days off of class for it, this whole thing. But they don't expect that the entire trip will last a super long time on the actual island itself. Toad, as for the reason that you may or may not have as to why the professor isn't there, the note only said that he was in the middle of something that he could not get away from at present.
But the artificer seemed to know that he wasn't going to be there, so does Hoji have any indication or no? I'm going to ask the artificing professor, if they knew at all why the professor isn't here.
And she kind of like shrugs and scratches her shoulder, and she goes,
I mean, the only time that this sort of thing happens when they get called off right like that is when they've got some like official guild business or something to take care of. I'm not part of the Wizards Guild, obviously. I'm a conscientious objector.
Sure, understandably. Your methods are probably slightly different than theirs, I understand.
Yeah.
And she holds up the hammer in her right hand and then flicks a little switch by her thumb, and the whole hammer lights on fire. And then she flicks it off and the hammer turns back off, and she goes,
I got a little bit of a different method, yeah.
Charming.
You have about 10 minutes or so before you are going to head onto the caravan. If there's anything else you need to do while on campus.
Knight Gardini, were you curious at all about our friend in the library, or
I
are
mean, I
you
could
okay just
be,
moving on?
but my fellow students are very excited for this field trip, so
Yeah, I agree.
I will
Did you-
simply trust that Thelen will be just fine, because it's not like we can take them on the field trip anyway.
Understood. Yep.
All right, then. Then, after a few more minutes with everyone gathered, you head down to the southern portion of the campus, where there is a caravan of several horses and wagons waiting for you. This is a trade caravan that is heading out of the capital and then going down southward, and just happens to be heading toward the trade town of Mamerzi, which is south of the capital and just slightly to the east of Key Lake. So they will be taking you down to the edge of the lake and then breaking off to go to Mamerzi. It is a 2.5-day trip. The half day from what you are starting now, and then 2 more full days. During that trip, is there anything that you guys will want to do? It is a pretty standard, like, during the day you're walking by the sides of the horses or taking the, like, on the inside of the carts. There are, like, more merchants coming up that they meet with and do little trade with. But is there anything that you would like to do?
Hang out with all my friends.
Absolutely. It is it's nice to be able to, like, just kind of be and not have to worry about doing things like taking notes or studying or any of that other sort of academic garbage. After all, you're on what is essentially amounts to a vacation with a little bit of research involved. After
I
a
think
couple...
I'll
on.
spend the time getting to know my, like, Lilith better, for instance, and Rev, if Rev is with us, for instance. Students I don't usually get to talk to as often.
Oh, wonderful, yeah. There are several students who are extremely excited about getting to the edge of the lake. Some students who are just here because it was an easy way to not have to go to class for a while, that kind of thing.
Are there
and
any that have been to the lake before that might have some working knowledge of where we're headed that we could rely on later?
There is a half giant. Well, I suppose it's like a quarter giant. It's a half giant, a half giant, as it were. From the Hillstrider clan. This is Multi-Hillstrider. And they are 7-ish feet tall or so. They are primarily a fist fighter, but they attend the professor's classes because they're trying really hard to learn how to punch from 2 directions at the same time. So translocation magic seems to be the way that they want to do it. And they are descended from some of the half giants that live near Key Lake. They've been to the edge of the lake several times to, like, hang out with family, as it were. The actual lake itself, though, as far as they have ever, like, done anything with it, it's mostly been fishing. And the
Okay.
lake is generally, like, really temperate. It's, like, not super freezing cold, because it's fed by geothermal vents and, like, underground runoff from Mount Vulastis to the right, or rather to the east, to the right. So yeah, it's filled with like healthy minerals and has a lot of, like, life and fish and stuff teeming inside of it. The half-giant community that lives around the edge of Key Lake tends to be also the type that will bring in lots of fish to Mamerzi for trade.
Okay.
Multi
good
is
to
very
know.
excited
And they're friends
to-
with this community.
Yeah, I mean they're Multi is descended from the community that lives there, so they're like the
Excellent.
the first cousin of some of the people there.
Excellent. We have a local. Wonderful.
When you reach the edge of Key Lake, the waters themselves are very still. There's not a lot of like moving around on the water, mostly because there's not a lot of like weather that is happening. But at the edge of the lake on a dock, there is a ferryman with a large, sort of like wide, flat vessel that is not pictured in the pixel art there, because I could not find one that actually had a ferry and not just a normal little boat. But there is a ferryman there. He is maybe 70, 75-ish years old looking human, with a kind of like a long blackish beard with little bits of gray in it. He's got a hood pulled up over his hair. It seems like he does this almost exclusively. He will take people across to the other side of the lake. He will go in between places. He has several like places on the ferry where one can put a fishing rod, so it stands to reason that you could expect him to be the type that would be hired out for fishing expeditions as well. And he just kind of very lazily like leans on the stick that he's got and looks out and he goes, "You're the school group, I take it." And Hoji kind of nods.
Yeah, this is them. Here, this is the payment, and here's the documents, and you make sure that you go back there and get them at the correct times and everything. They've got, let's see here, 2 days on the island, and then you gotta go and get them and bring them back. Are we capiche?
Yes, of course. I've done this for years, and they go back and forth a little bit. Hoji hands him a clinking bag of coins, and she turns back and crosses her arms, and she goes,
Well, this is about as far as I'm gonna take you. The field trip itself, obviously,
and then she kind of like puts her hand in her pocket and pulls out like a crumpled up piece of paper, and she goes,
the field trip is meant for research purposes and for the purposes of testing your skills against the things you might find there.
And she crumples it up and throws it over her shoulder, and she goes,
I don't know what any of that means, but I guess go have fun.
I'm surprised we're supposed to be testing skills against things. I wonder what the professor thinks we will possibly be against on this field trip.
Hoji shrugs.
I don't know. I don't go to these kind of classes. You want to learn how to do some, like, fun and interesting stuff and not worry about sitting on your books and stuff all day. Why don't you come over to some of my classes? I teach you how to use a blowtorch.
Yes, I agree that this seems sort of unpredictable, but we can handle it as a class.
The ferryman pushes off with the group on board, and it takes a little while, some time on board, where many of the students there begin to get bored. Some of them have brought their fishing equipment because they heard about the Key Lake fishery, and it is a relatively quiet way out there until you find yourself at the edge of the lake in the center of the like key handle portion. It is there where you unload, and you see a group of giant folk sitting at a campfire. They're like roasting humongous carcasses of like big fish and stuff over the fire. One of them waves his hand and goes, "If it's not some people, are we here as tourists, or are you here for philanthropy? What's the deal, everyone?" And the ferryman is already leaving.
We're on a field trip.
I would say here for learning purposes.
Ah,
what do you want to learn about that's out here? It's pretty decent, like, loam land for growing some stuff for, like, 7 months.
We want to see the amphitheater.
You want to go all the way out there? I mean, it's kind of unlucky, but, well, suit yourselves. I can point you in the right direction.
Unlucky?
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll see it. When you see the place, you'll understand. You want me to take you there, or you want me to just, like, point you in the right direction, or what?
Well, certainly with
Whatever
your
you're comfortable with
experience
doing.
certainly with your experience in these lands, it would be helpful. But you also seem to be very gathered here with your fish and all, so we don't want to break that up.
Yeah, we're cooking. Hang on. Actually, I got a thing for you. And he reaches around and, like, moves a rock and then, like, shuffles around on the inside of the hole that's there. And he pulls out a rolled up piece of vellum. And he goes, last guys that was here, they left this thing around. Listen, it's like a map. So if you wanna use this, it'll tell you where you are and what stuff is around you. And we don't need it. We know this place, but you guys, you newcomers, you seem like you could probably use a little hand for it.
Yeah, that would be
That
very
seems-
helpful.
Oh, when were those people here? The last people who came?
Oh, geez. I don't know, like a decade and a half or so ago. And, like, he looks back to the others, and one of them nods, like, yeah, it's about, like, 15, 16 years, I guess.
Do you think was there a wizard in their mix?
With a really colorful hat, maybe?
And they all kind of, like, confer for a moment. And the big guy looks back and he goes, I mean, I was a couple of them, if I recall. Like a guy in big clanky armor and, like, a bird. Also, there was a bird.
Mm-hmm.
There was a blue guy. I was like a tiny lady, and then, like, yeah, the colorful guy, pointy hat, sort of like looked like someone spilled a bunch of paint on him or something.
Exactly that. I've always thought that too, but I guess I've never said that out loud. Yes. Yeah.
We know those guys.
Do ya? Well, if you see Pointy Hat again, you tell him that Zhao Char says hi.
Let me go get out my notes, actually.
Yeah, I'm writing it down as well. Zhao Char says hi.
Excellent.
Do they know Multi? Does Multi know these individuals?
Multi actually is kind of like hanging out with the smallest of the three. They seem to be... they have found the way that they are related. And you guys would know this, having been in this sort of dimension for a while, that the community of giants, and by extension Goliaths and half giants and that sort of business, really like tracing their genealogies backwards to see where they are related to other giants. This one is maybe it's like the third cousin and also second cousin twice removed from the smallest one, and they are instantly bonding over it.
Multi, are you familiar with what's on this map? Does any of this land look familiar to you?
Multi kind of like moseys over and goes, oh gosh, I've never been on the island before. You know, we don't really come out here super lots. I don't really know much about this. But when you're looking at it, you
No
see
worries.
that there is a dot that is marked here, and then there are a couple other sort of like masses on the map there. The first of them is marked amphitheater. The second is marked ruins, and the third is marked temple.
Interesting. Do we recognize the handwriting?
It seems like it is in something like movable type.
What sort of climate is this island? Is it like temperate? Is it ashen?
The island right now is pretty marshy on the grounds that it has been submerged for the past 5 months or so and is only back being dry land again for like 3 or 4 weeks at this point. But there's a lot of kind of like low grass that's sprouting out of the ground. There's like ferns and stuff. There's a lot of like aquatic plants that still live in like the shallow pools that are on. The weather is humid and it is like somewhat chilly.
Well, until you said chili, this sounded like the perfect environment, so I'm very happy. I'll hold on to this and it looks like Night Gardenia, Lilith. It looks like the amphitheater is marked on here, if that's where we wanted to head first.
Yeah, I mean, a certain someone has requested that we meet them there, so I feel like we should go there first, especially if we only have 2 days and it appears have to travel on foot.
With
Are
group
any of the
consensus.
ruins or the temple on the way to the amphitheater?
It seems where you are, the first one closest to you is the amphitheater, and then further out in the same direction is the ruins, and then like off to one side from the amphitheater is the temple.
Okay, well,
all seem
we'll
relatively
need to
close together,
reserve
though.
time for... Yeah, we'll have to make sure we have time to get back to the ferry on time. But maybe if we make good time and nothing horribly tragic happens, then we can stop by those as well.
Yeah, can I flip the map over to see if there's any, or I mean, are there any notes on the map, or is it just the cartography besides the names?
Joan, are you good with like printed materials and like things that are made of paper and all of that? Do you have a background with that, or is that something that you've only seen like as far as having come up to the academy?
Probably not. I think you're probably right that that's just an academy thing. I think I'm more used to the natural environments and just sort of naturally knowing my way around rather than relying on maps and cartography. So I could pass it to someone like Night Gardenia, who may have more experience with that. That might make more sense. Or maybe Lilith, if Lilith has more experience with that.
I know maps. I make them.
Well then yes, this definitely should. So I pass it to her. I pass it to Lilith and say, actually, I think you're probably better with this because I'm holding it upside down. I'm like, yes, and I'm sure one of them is like, okay, nope, we'll take that.
Excellent.
What kind of a map is this?
It is a magic item for one. So it is relatively decent. It's written, or not written, but rather drawn on like a thick sort of like supple cotton style paper. You know that it's magic because despite having been under a rock for about 16 years, it seems, it is pristine and completely undamaged. And on the back of it, you see that there is a little grayish smudge that looks like a fingerprint.
Oh, sorry, my hands are a little muddy. Wait, that's not mine.
Do you? Cool. Can I figure out what kind of magic?
It's divination. You can tell just by looking at it that divination magic is used to basically update this map. Like it is started as a map, and then there's divination magic to show where you are on the map.
That's what I was gonna say.
gotcha.
As we're walking, I'm I'm like jumping up and down behind Lilith to see like, hey, is that here moving while we move?
It certainly is.
Hey,
I'm going to be
that's
honest,
interesting.
guys. I was kind of hoping that the professor would join us once we reach the island. I wonder at this point when he is going to meet up with us. I assume he's going to teleport here as soon as he's available.
Does the map show where the professor is?
No, the map is only the map of the island in the center of Key Lake.
I think the
hope
map
he's-
just knows where the map is.
I certainly hope he's okay, given your point there, Night Gardenia.
Yeah, I sure do hope he's not in some form of mortal peril due to a ghost from his past or something. That would be
an
unfortunate.
interesting plot point, but wow, how vivid your imagination is, Night Gardenia.
You head toward the first dot on the map, the amphitheater. The way there is wet. There is something of like a few roads, but they are gross and wet and that sort of feel. But you do end up arriving, and when you arrive, you see what was once a fantastic and wonderful stone amphitheater, a large circular sort of stage area around which rows and rows and rows of seats have been built, and there's the ruins of like columns and things behind it. There is, in the center of the large circular stage area, amongst the many pools of water left over, also a black mark.
Hey, Professor?
The professor isn't here
Before-
right now.
Okay, narrator?
What can I do for you?
Before we get too far, I would like to establish that during our travel time on like the ferry and the caravan, one thing I was doing is making a purple and red friendship bracelet and also a cute drawing of me and a certain golf loser holding hands that I now like have at the ready.
So your friendship bracelet and fan art of the spooky nerd are both in your hands.
Yes.
Amazing.
Friendship package at the ready.
Exquisite. I love it. Yeah, you've got that, but as the group sort of arrives, you see many of them sort of spread off and like break out into little groups to like go and look at the things that are nearby. There's like indications of wildlife that have come through, and some of the more like naturally inclined students are overlooking at this sort of thing. There is one student who's actually an archaeology major who is like cross-classing into wizard for funsies, and they're looking at like some bits of the ruins further back and all of that. And this leaves
Everyone,
the three
stick
of
with
you.
your buddy, though. Stay with your buddy. Make sure you always have eyes on your buddy, everyone.
There's the okay through the crowd, and they all go off in at least pairs, leaving the three of you together.
I'm Night Gardenia. I'm sort of curious about this black mark here.
Yeah, I think we should check it out. I have a strong feeling that I have been told previously what this is.
Lilith, what do you think? I think this is a... Should we approach this inky blackness here?
Sure. I get inky blackness.
Amazing.
Okay. We will approach the blackness very slowly.
The three of you.
I'm walking you.
Okay, well, I'm behind you then. Or go ahead, Lilith. Yes, of course. No, I'll just...
Just like straight up, like, all right, we're walking it. You walk up the stone steps onto the platform, and you see that this black sort of spot is burned into the stone almost. When you take a really close look at it, you see that it's like an intricate, almost fractal pattern, starting at one point and branching out backwards like fractal wings, burned into the stone. And the closer you get to this mark, the more of a vague feeling of dread the three of you begin to feel. Maybe it's the superstition. Maybe the giants having said that the place is unlucky is just making this specific thing slightly unsettling. But it feels weird.
I would like to place my friendship bracelet on the spooky stain.
Night Gardenia, you reach down forward and you place the bracelet there. Your finger brushes the pattern just very briefly. Nothing happens right off the bat.
I don't know if I would get so close to that.
Since nothing has happened right off the bat, interesting, modifier there to that phrase.
I was sort of wondering why the narrator used that, yes.
Yeah, while still kind of bent over it, having placed down the friendship bracelet, I, wave kind of sillily at the ground, whisper a happy late birthday, and then,
Can't believe you.
bend back up and kind of look around for any, spooky nerds.
So the three of you are up in the center area here, and John and Lilith, you watch as Aster drops the little bracelet there and then mumbles some words and stands back up. And then it's silent for a moment, and then the four of you are just kind of standing there for a little while.
What did you place on that, Night Gardenia?
Oh, that's a friendship bracelet.
A friendship bracelet?
Yeah.
It's a bracelet that's a friend?
It's a bracelet for a friend who, this little stain here, if I'm correct about it, which I'm pretty sure I am, is pretty connected to him. So I don't know if he's going to come out of here or show up in some other way, but I want him to have it. And I don't know where he is yet, but this is kind of the closest to where he is.
Is he something that we should be worried about?
I'm hoping not, because I'm gonna be a real good friend to him. And then we'll be friends, and friends don't, kill and murder each other's professors.
So what you're saying is this friendship bracelet is a magical artifact that carries protection magic on it. That prevents those from doing harm to you.
Yeah, I think friendship is the most powerful magic of all.
One would say that yeah.
Lilith,
interesting.
Joan, and Aster, the three of you are having this conversation, and you look down and see all four of your shadows.
I'm sorry, I believe the narrator said 4.
Interesting that you should say 4. Who is casting the 4th shadow?
When you look up to find where the 4th shadow goes, there is almost nothing there, but a cloud passes over the sun and casts a shadow across specifically where the three of you stand. And as that shadow crosses that area, a form flickers into view. An armored
interesting.
individual.
This is a pretty paladin-shaped form, I would say.
He has a big hammer on his back, a sword at his side. His helmet's visor is drawn low, and he is like a flickering, grayish-black, smoky shadow. And you see him reach down and try to touch the bracelet, but when he gets close to it, his hand begins to dissipate. He pulls his hand back up, and it starts very slowly to reform. He looks over at the three of you, and he says, "I can feel the presence of an old friend rubbed off on you. Tell me, where is my colleague, my friend, my wonderful witch Hazel?"
I don't know about a witch Hazel, but I think I know who your friend is, and unfortunately he's running late, but he should be meeting us here.
You see the form kind of slump forward very slightly, and a shame. I so wish to see him again. My wonderful, my beautiful witch Hazel. And then the cloud rolls off, and he dissipates.
That was an affection of a nature I was not expecting to hear about. I'm also now wishing we had gathered more of the Horizon together. Maybe on this field trip? Maybe we should bring them after this field trip. They should probably come, visit him if he's still here.
They kept saying something about witch hazel. I am familiar with that as being something we would give in our community when others were ill, with medicinal properties. But is that a person?
Well, there have been in our studies, there have been a lot of plants. I mean, Cosmo is a type of plant, Bergamot is a type of plant, and then,
That's just a type of plant.
I'm probably unrelated to all this, but the library access keys have also been plants. Peppermint, rosemary. Yeah, this probably is an access key, come to think of it, so I'm gonna just write that down. There we go. The professor was all, "Oh, field trips are fun. You don't have to take notes." I'm taking notes.
I have like a notebook that has like 6,000 pages in it. I'm like, yes, I'm always taking notes.
Well, now I'm wondering if I should have made another friendship bracelet with more like silver and gold type colors.
Was that the friend that you were looking for?
I suspect perhaps yes and no. So I published a study guide last night, and it rose some particular questions in it of things we wanted to find out on this field trip that we hadn't learned yet, and this is very related to the last of those questions, so. If it's not directly the friend I was looking for, it is a friend I would have looked for if I had suspected he was also here. And a friend he shall be, regardless.
Do you think there's a connection between that armored figure that we just saw and the clanky armored individual the giant mentioned?
Yes, I'm assuming they are the same person.
Okay. All right. I'm up to speed now. Thank you.
Somewhere, as a dramatic irony, there is a laugh.
Oh, come
None of
on,
you
come
hear it.
laugh with your buddies! Shouts into the dramatic irony.
The dramatic irony responds by simply sticking its tongue out.
I cry at the dramatic irony and it laughs back.
The rest of your day might be spent trying to re-invoke this spirit, in looking around to try to find more things, in exploring the area nearby, but now that feeling of dread, gone. And no matter how many more clouds pass over, or how dark it begins to get, that spirit does not come back.
Yeah, speaking of trying to reinvoke the spirit by finding things in the environment, I would love to, take my nature-inclined friend Toad and see if any witch hazel grows in the area. I don't know if it's suited for these mostly flooded conditions, but, any flowers would do, but those ones specifically seems... I know he wasn't actually asking for flowers, but... this is a resting place, and I should have thought about bringing flowers.
I was going to say the same thing myself. Yes, let's look around for some.
The two of you go to look for some flowers. Lilith, on the other hand, you can't get that smudge off of your thumb. Like, it's
Off of
as
my
soon as
thumb?
you when you turned the map over, you found that fingerprint and it was smudged. It seems like maybe you were the one that smudged the fingerprint, and it won't come off.
Gonna try to find out why.
What sort of skill or knowledge would you be using to do this?
I mean, I know magic.
You do.
If it won't come off, then it's probably magical in nature.
With some experiments, you find that the smudge is almost like a slime. Like, you can kind of peel little bits of it off if you, like, run your thumbnail against it, and you can get, like, little tiny pieces of it off, because it seems to now be, like, mixing with the oils in your skin to rehydrate itself, for lack of a better term. But the more of it you flick off, the more of the rest of it seems to just want to stick. And you do feel like, now reaching in and investigating it, that this is magical, and it feels like it's part of something.
Perhaps part of a big ashy smear on the ground?
Different
Is it-
color. Definitely a different color.
Different color. I guess I could try to trace it.
You
Right.
shut your eyes and try to follow back the magic. Are the three of you also watching my stream right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. That's important. To watch him lie in a pool of his own blood on the stones was a pleasure denied me the first time. But living through his memory, that will do nicely. And to think that fool stored one of the runes I seek inside that very memory, as if nobody would ever find it. You children are so easy to manipulate. At this rate, the kingdom may even blame you for the cataclysm that I seek to show them. And your dear professor? Well, he can do nothing to stop me, because he does not remember. You do, though. You've seen the inside of his memories. You've delved into places you were not meant to go, haven't you? Perverts. What must it be like, knowing that returning a memory like this to him would cook his mind alive? Would you do that to him? Give him back the memory he sealed away? Inflict upon him the suffering of knowing about his own death and the murder of one of his closest friends, which he has hidden away? Will you tell him where his scars come from? You wouldn't. You can't. His mind is an iron trap, and he lets nobody inside. Thanks to that hat of his. But perhaps I will tell him. No barrier in existence can hold me forever. He knows this better than anyone else. Or, well, he will when I make him remember. 2 down, 3 to go. And I am certain I know where the next one is. Paper is so fragile. that's what you see in your mind, Lilith.
Nice.
And only Lilith does?
Well, Lilith is the one tracing the magic back.
And Rev, I'm on it.
All that. Cool. Can I actually sense where that came from, or is that this in my head?
When you got close enough to, like, sort of trace back the connection between this tiny, tiny smudge and where it comes from, what you got was that sort of communication back. It seems that they were waiting, but you can't tell exactly where. And then when you look down again, you see that that smudge on your thumb is gone.
Excellent. I guess I'll relay that to my colleagues.
That a smudge is gone, or that a spooky nerd said that we're going to fry our professor's brain?
Yes.
Both.
Okay,
That's extremely concerning.
And did you trace that from a direction at all? Where can I, shake my fist at Cloud?
The closest that you can get... Yeah, the general direction seems to have been coming back from Temevelt, the capital city, where the academy is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Temevelt.
So we have, like, 2 clerics. Do either of them know sending? Could we, sending to be like, hey, Professor, are you good? Are you currently being assaulted by a spooky nerd?
I don't think that's gonna work, dependent from what they said.
I mean, if the
Jack
source
Everett,
of
that's not
that
gonna
magic
work.
is in Temevelt, then it sounds like a
No,
suit
it's
and...
like
You think we were sent here as a redirect?
no,
to get
like,
us all out of the way so that we
said
couldn't stop
the
them.
hat like blocked the professor's mind, so I'm not sure if that would.
Well,
I
he
don't know if
said
that would affect
nothing
things, I
could
guess,
get
well.
through the block except for him. And if the magic you just sensed is in Temevelt and our professor isn't here, then our professor may be in Temevelt being
agree.
assaulted by spooky nerds.
I thought we were calling it the Scattered Void, but Spooky Nerds works.
The Scattered Void, formerly known as Empty, occasionally known as Negacosmo, informally known as Baby Girl.
I was waiting for it.
I flip back 10 pages. Oh, yes, right. I've got that. That's here. Got it. Sorry, it was buried here in this third paragraph on page 1584.
My study guides are short and comprehensive, and definitely not 158
No,
pages.
it's when it's translated back into the Toad language, it actually expands quite a lot.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's we're used to reading things that way.
Amazing. In any case, though, the night comes to a close, and you find yourselves just kind of...
Sure, we just go to Betty Bye after that. Sure, we learned this information.
Yeah.
We just, go, well, nothing to do but, pack up camp and not help our friends in imminent danger of both paper and professor variety.
We will say this. One of your clerics, probably Cross, is able to cast a sending to the professor, and it does reach the professor. And Cross, what you get back is... Oh, my dear students, I'm so sorry I can't be there with you right now. I hope that you're having so much fun. I am so super busy right now. I promise I will make it up to you. And then that's the end of the 25 words.
He should have, mentioned if he was safe or not, dude.
Suspect if this hat is preventing memories and preventing this, there might be a mental block there. So perhaps whatever we sent to him
That's
just
what I was
read
saying.
as we're having a good time, hope you're doing well. I suspect there might be some kind of one would almost call it like static there.
So you know that little image I made to hype up this field trip? I am very much doing that sort of posing and emotion. I think me and Cross and Rev are all generally recreating it.
Rev...
Well, Rev actually not smiling, maybe.
Rev leaps into the air and flies, it seems, directly back. Even going very quickly,
See you
it
later.
still takes you the better part of a day to get there, because narratively
No,
that's
Rev!
what we need.
Our field trip defense system!
Bring your buddy. Oh, they're
Oh,
gone.
come on, I'm scared!
They didn't bring their buddy.
In the meantime,
Can
Cross, you
send
send
Fallon?
you send another sending to the professor, and the professor goes, right. I never remember that there's only 25 words available for the responses to these spells. It's always something that I forget about. I am so sorry. But anyway, yes. And then that's the end of that. And then you finally, after the third time, get, I promise I'm okay. I'm just on some guild business. I will see you when you get back.
When we get... What? He's not joining us for the field trip at all?
When you cast sending to Thelen, however, the way that the message comes back is different, because Thelen, of course, is a two-dimensional being, and so what you speak to Thelen, you get the urge then to write, and Cross, you scribble in the like mud the response. It just says, "Very busy, many requests coming in. I can't wait to get the information from you as to what you have found on the lake."
So not related at all to the sad-looking book friend?
No, he's just very busy. That's his busy face.
Oh, that's
Ross,
his
can you
busy
send
face.
Send a message to Thelen, like saying witch hazel. Tell me about witch hazel.
That's so smart!
One more sending goes off to Thelen. After a moment, the scrawl comes back. This is an access code. As soon as you get back to the archives, I will have what you are looking for available for you.
I'm almost worried about us having done that. Oh, jeez. Oh, a certain spooky loser is definitely laughing at us now. But he could be laughing while wearing a friendship bracelet!
Wonderful. But yes,
You know,
it
I'm
is...
not going to
it
give
is-
him my drawing. He doesn't get it now.
It is dark now. And I mean, regardless of what you intend to do, it is currently dark. You guys have, like, things to do, camp and all that if you wanted to. But, yeah, tell me what you guys are doing.
Did we manage to put flowers on the big smudge?
You were able to find a couple little bits of, like, white poppy flowers. And they are, yeah, you gathered a good bushel of them and have laid them on the smudge.
Okay. I mean, Cross is a Twilight cleric and is very good about making light, but I assume we're using that light to, get appropriate accommodations for all of my lovely classmates for the night, while also, hanging off each other's shoulders and screaming, crying, screaming, crying, screaming, crying.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take a super long time for you guys to kind of wind down, even if you are exactly, like, super nervous about this. And whether you get a decent night of sleep or not, the morning does eventually come. That being said, the second day is largely uneventful. I mean, aside from, like, any messages that you try to send to people or, like, investigations that you want to do on the island, you don't get any more mystical stuff at all.
Do we spend the day exploring the ruins and or temple?
If you'd like to, yes. The ruins are a group of stone buildings that have been sort of washed in and washed out so many times by the water coming in that while it might have at one point been some type of like a village or perhaps like a gathering of houses and like other stone buildings like that, they are currently now mostly piles of stone. Laid out in a sort of like circular grid pattern. And that was the ruins. The temple is a graveyard, it looks like. Or it was at one point. What with the water having swallowed it so many times, it seems like many of the places where graves once were have been like sloughed together and exhumed by the water. But you can tell that it's a graveyard because there are still several standing stones with names on them.
Well, we gotta read the names and probably pick more poppies to put on as many of these as we can.
Exactly.
You gather that it is a temple to the gods of death. It's a sort of ecumenical, whoever is watching, if you are a god of death, you are welcome here type thing. So there's like imagery of black ravens, there's imagery of like a skull with a sickle behind it. There are several different gods that could call this temple home temporarily if they wanted to. None of the names seem to be anything that you recognize. They all seem to be written in Elvish, like an old dialect of Elvish, quite a long time back.
Elvish, not giant?
Not giant. Quite a long time ago, there was it's like the equivalent of what Middle English is to modern English. That's what this is to Elvish, but stretched out over like elf lifetimes. So this is maybe 1500 years ago, like Elvish dialect.
Well, we're gonna give them flowers anyway, because people can't come here and lay flowers on them very often.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of flowers to put on the graves. But in any case, yeah, try what you may. You can't even get like another single sliver of anything mystical. There's just like a vague, superstitious feeling.
Logically, I feel like whatever Void had planned for us at the amphitheater has happened, but I feel like we didn't do that much. But also we need to, now I'm even more anxious to make sure we do not miss our ferry home, because now I fear that we'll get there and everything will be on fire or something.
I agree. How much time do we have left until the ferry was meant to meet us?
The ferry is supposed to meet you this evening. It's currently like 2 p.m.
Well, let's get over there.
Do you want to explore the amphitheater any further, or you feel that we've found what we need to find there?
I think we found what we need to find here.
It is
Kinda.
most important that we definitely get home and make sure that Thelen and the professor are all right. So,
Absolutely.
The trip back takes a little while. It's the same sort of trip there as it was back. You catch with another caravan going up from Elzeth.
Before we travel all that way, should we take this map with us or leave it here for whoever may next come to the island?
Well, this only shows the island, so there's not a lot of point in taking it with us, right?
It was through your fingerprint on that we connected with Void, right? So it might be of interest.
Maybe we
I
should ask the
suppose
professor
so.
about it since his party was the one that brought it over.
Are you worried that might crack the shell on these hidden memories for him?
I guess it was there are certain divination spells that you can look into something based on a possession of theirs. And so and the fact that this has some sort of voidy magic in it, it probably makes sense to take it. It was just a question.
I agree. I think either way, there's probably more expertise there at the university regarding this.
We can always put it back later.
You're practically
Alright.
giants.
There is a spirit over there who misses his friends, and they haven't come to visit him in a decade and a half. Maybe they ought to once we've made sure that nothing horrible and cataclysmic has happened.
Passes now.
Okay, we take it with us.
Excellent. Passes now the 2 more days, plus the morning of the 3rd, where you find yourselves back at the southern portion of the city, inside of which the academy is. When you reach back to the academy, you note that there are a lot more academy guard around. When you come
Please
back-
just be Rev got them spooked. Please just be Rev got them spooked.
When you come back in, you note that you have to, like, they ask specifically for your student IDs, and when they confirm that you are in fact who you say you are, they let you back in. And as you head back toward the Conjuration Tower, you note that the Northwestern Library
No,
is
is totally fine.
somewhat off.
Mm.
Looking at
Okay,
the
I'm
outside
running.
of it, you
We
note
running.
that while looking at the outside of the library, you note that the upper floors on the outside of it seem to have been damaged, perhaps, by what might have been fire. And there is a sort of like temporary barricade around the entrance to the archive.
Hey, Professor, did you know that that's illegal? And you can't do that?
The professor isn't here right now.
Yeah, good thing, because or
Yeah,
else
why
he'd
did you
go
know
to
that's illegal?
jail.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I have noticed that, you know, there is, of all of the redeems not to be online today, the one for banning inaction is conspicuously absent.
John, you have the magic of the druids that runs through you. And when
I
you
do.
approach here, you are almost beset with a sudden feeling, like a recollection of what has recently happened here. And it just starts to, like, run through you, as though the plants, the insects, the birds are trying to tell you what's happened. The archives.
Invoke story of Make Nights Cry.
The archives, usually serene and filled with the gentle sound of rustling paper and the clicking of lockboxes, are eerily silent. Thalen Soldar, valiant keeper of the archives and their knowledge, sits on one of the pages of a book about harpsichords, lazily scanning the words with a contented look. It's his lunch break, or as close to a lunch break as a paper elemental can get. Somewhere on the edge of the archive, however, a tendril of black, oozing shadow creeps in through a crack. Like a snake, it silently slides along the corners and nooks, keeping out of sight until it reaches a wall of intricate brass fittings. This is the wall that protects the safe deposit boxes and personal archives of those who leave their things with Thalen, each one with a fancy and intricately reliefed brass door on the front. The tendril reaches up off the ground and arches itself toward one specific box. Slowly, carefully, it reaches forward. And then there's a spark, and suddenly a glyph lights up on the front of the box door. The tendril recoils, and a shimmering cage of ethereal silver bars springs up in the space in front of the box, shoving the tendril to the side. An alarm begins to sound, and the tendril begins to retract. Thalen's face sharpens, and immediately they slide out of the harpsichord book and onto the papery surface of their desk. The vigilant blessing they received seems to have taken effect. "Intruder! Guard! Help!" they cry, and shoot toward the embedded scroll of sending on their desk. But there's a flicker, and a tiny mote of black fire settles just above the paper. The tendril slithers up the desk, leaving a black trail of smoking black ichor as it does, and the tip of it, a mouth full of teeth, opens up. "I've had enough of this, you blot of ink. Open the box, or I will torch you into dust." The mote of flame lowers, begins to scorch the surface of the desk. Just as suddenly, however, a flash of yellow and red protective energy encircles Thalen, and the cold iron-shod end of a wizard's staff slams into the tendril, splattering it into paste. The woman holding the staff flicks the ichor off and plants her feet resolutely. "Beatrice! Thank Mystra!" Thalen cries. Beatrice's second daughter, master counterspeller and dean of the School of Abjuration, tilts her red hat back and nods. "There's an intruder!" A wave of percussive force nearly catches her, but her mind catches it last second and unravels it around them. Books scatter, shelves break, and paper flutters. But she and Thalen are safe. "One little wizard and a spot of wet ink cannot stop me from achieving my purpose." The voice from the tendril intones, now coming from many directions at once. Thalen looks and sees now dozens of these tendrils, each with an eye or a mouth or a hand attached, rising from the splatter of black slime.
Like hell, growls Beatrice. You're the thing Kazi was talking about.
She drags her fingertips down the sides of her face and speaks a word that sounds like a chorus of voices all at once. When she opens her eyes, her right eye scintillates violently with color, and a teardrop of thick, vivid neon slides down her cheek. A sphere of blindingly bright color suddenly erupts from the tear, enveloping herself, Thalen, and as much of the archive as she can fit inside the 30-foot diameter. On the other side of the sphere, sizzling and thrashing and screaming are heard, and 100 tendrils of black ichor violently sublimate. The smell of smoke.
Thalen! The headmaster! Now!
Thalen skitters over to the corner of the desk where the spell had been inscribed, but the script is scorched.
I can't. It's been destroyed.
Beatrice wipes the paint-like tear from her face, dragging neon up her sleeve. I don't have it prepared. Looks like we're just going to have to deal with this until help arrives. Less than a minute later, when the Academy Guard arrives, with Corrine Dragonslayer at the front of the charge, her whole body crackling with electricity, just waiting to be let loose. The archives are reduced to slime and ash, save for the resolute sphere of scintillating energy in the center. Beatrice lets the spell lapse, revealing herself and a very scared, very upset, but fully intact Thalen. Whatever that thing was, it's gone. Reports from the Academy security say that the campus security entity Rev seemed to have been out on a field trip at the time of the attack, coinciding exactly with the end of the 29th day of consecutively casting Forbiddance on the archives. Beatrice was on her way there to finish the 30th day of casting to make it permanent when the attack arose. And just then, Rev crashes onto the scene. That is the memory that you get, Toad.
I share all of that with Night Gardenia and Lilith. Aster, Lilith, I think Thalen and Beatrice are all right. And I think Rev arrived on scene, but I'm not sure from there.
Rev, you who did arrive, were able to surmise the situation, trace back the field of black ichor, and find a grossly morphed entity of black slime just to the north of the Academy, fleeing violently to that direction. And you reached down and smashed it into oblivion and threw all of the bits of it into the astral sea. Whatever that thing was, it no longer is.
Best campus security system ever.
I would agree, but it sort of also seems right place, right time for Beatrice and the others.
Out
Just
of
seems
the doors,
dangerously close.
Yeah. Out of the doors of the Conjuration Tower, they actually open. Come three figures. One of them is Professor Yimble. One of them is Hoji. And the other is the professor. Students I see you've made it back. And all the better that you were not here during the time there was an attack on the campus. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to go with you. I just got back, like, an hour and a half or so ago myself, so I'm still catching up on what's gone on. But, well, I finished my guild business. I hope that you all had a good time on your trip, notwithstanding what you've come back to. We will have everything patched up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, the professor has come out and, like, Cross and Aster have been, you know, reduced to blubbering messes over the danger they felt Thelen was in. Still emotionally recovering.
Is Bowen alright?
Oh, of course, the Archivist is completely fine. I am to understand that Beatrice' second daughter was there to help defend them from the attack. And so much the better for it. Beatrice is perhaps the best counterspeller I've ever met in my life.
We still should have been here. It feels like we should have been here.
With as much respect as I can give you, friend Toad, what happened here would have been far beyond the capabilities of, well, most of my dear students. I'm almost glad you weren't here for it. I wouldn't want to put you in that kind of danger.
Nestor, where were you during all of this? What did you experience? What did you see?
He's got the longest 1,000-yard stare, and he goes, That's just the thing. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any of it. I was trying to make sure that I could watch everything, everywhere, all the time, forever. But there was a moment, and I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything at all. It was like there was I don't know, a lapse in the weave or something at that point, and I couldn't see anything. So I didn't know what to do or where to go. There were too many places that could have been the site of an attack.
And was that yesterday, or when did that blip happen?
When you compare your notes with everybody, you find that the blip seemed to happen about an hour after you got the message from Thalen that they were very busy with many different requests.
If we show the map we brought back to this group, are there any reactions?
You pull the map out of your hip pocket, and when you unroll it, the professor looks at it, and there is a visible, almost static behind his eyes for a moment, and he goes, "Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen that in a while. We left that out on Key Lake. You must have found it."
Oh, yeah, Zhao Char says hi.
Zhao Char? You met with Zhao Char? You met with the great wrestler, and he said hi to me? Oh, wonderful. That's what a nice gentleman.
He was
I'll
a
have to-
very nice gentleman.
I'll have to bring him down several bottles of wine at some point. I didn't even think he would remember me.
Are we near Phelan?
Yeah, you guys are directly outside of the currently cordoned off archives.
Can we talk to Phelan real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's like a temporary barrier out in the front of it, but it's easy to slip past.
Okay, because I want to ask him about Witch Hazel.
I'd also like to know, was the archive that those tendrils were trying to get into, were those inside or outside the resilient sphere?
Those were inside.
Okay, so they were not breached. That's good to know.
Is it public knowledge, this thing? So you mentioned that it was the 29th day of casting the Forbiddens. Is it public? Is it knowledge what was in that container?
So those containers specifically are like the safe deposit boxes in the vaults there. Essentially, Thalen is the one that can watch over any sort of information or like object that is put inside of those. And so many of those
Right.
safe deposit boxes have like important artifacts to the academy, and several of them are the personal vaults of the professors.
Right. So it's just known that it belongs to the professors, or that they are vaults. It's not known what's inside of that particular vault that these tendrils were after.
I mean, I have
Correct.
a feeling I know what was inside the particular vault that those tendrils were after.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, can I actually find about Witch Hazel?
Of course. You head down into the basement first floor. Everything is still like being repaired. There are technicians and magicians inside that are like casting reparation type spells, and they are like rebuilding walls and that kind of business. There's people from the artificers guilds who are like coming in and actually like replacing bits of the walls and that kind of business. And the three of you slip past down into the first floor archive where Thalen and his papery desk are. And it is rough down here. Where their desk is, and for about 15 feet in all directions, everything is completely pristine. And that includes all of the locked boxes there as well. Thalen sits on a book of paintings, all of which are like serene landscapes and such. They seem to be, it's difficult to get the pronouns for him right. They seem to use both. But they seem to be sitting on like the edge of a painting of like a tropical beach. As you approach, the book kind of tilts up, and you see Thalen's face look back and just, oh, if it isn't some of my favorite students. You'll have to please forgive the mess that is currently around. You asked for Witch Hazel, didn't you there, good Cross? And Cross, who is there, the face meets your eyes. And they say, this is an access code. This is highly, highly classified information. I'm not sure how
If
you
it
found the
unlocks
access
that-
key. So please keep this on the
If-
down
if-
low, but...
If it unlocks that box the tendril was trying to get, we probably should not open it, actually.
Well, whether you unlock it or not is irrelevant. I've already prepared the information for you.
Oh,
Wrong one.
okay. Oh no! Oops. Quick, take the
The-
stream down!
The information that you see is it's like a scroll almost, like a long strip of vellum on which several like almost microscopic lines of runes and glyphs have been inscribed. And Thalen says, "This is an encoded memory. It's not from the box that you seem to be indicating. No, this is from the professor's personal vault. Once again, I don't know where you got this information, but, well, please keep this on the down low. I am bound to give you the information attached to your access codes. So, you have this now. Does this help your research?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Saddest,
You are-
wettest eyes.
You are the second group to come and look at this.
Are we allowed to ask who the first was?
I had never seen this other one before. They were maybe a little bit taller than you, Knight Gardenia. Sort of blackish purple hair, perhaps.
Oh no.
They wore a sort of mid-length black jacket. They had quite a pale face. Dark
And
lips.
baby girl makeup?
I'm not sure what that means, but yes, I'd never seen them before. In fact, they were like, it was almost as though they had never visited the academy before. Like a completely clean identity slate. It was very strange. But they had the access code, so I am bound to do my duty.
When did they access this?
Maybe 15 minutes or so before the attack.
Interesting. And, you know, Thelen, you've had a lot of trouble recently with someone trying to, you know, force access to information they didn't have access keys to. You were going to update your band list. Did you ever see that person? Did they come in here like that person did?
Update the band list. Yes, I do think I did that. Or at least I thought I did. But it doesn't seem like I actually ended up getting to it. And they indicate there's like a blackboard on the wall, and there are a few names screeched into it with crystalline chalk. And there is a space at the bottom where it seems like there used to be a name, but which has been erased.
Is it theoretically possible that someone could have tampered with your band list?
I mean, the only person or thing or anyone that would be able to do so is me. It is part of me. It's part of my memory, you see.
So if someone did try to change it, you would definitely know.
Oh, they would have had to have reached into my mind and plucked out the information for it, yes. I would know.
Thinking many thoughts.
In any case, my dear students, I don't know if you're actually allowed to be down here right now, what with all of the repairs and things going on. Obviously, as honor students, I trust that you are here on official business or something, but I would wager that even official or not, you might want to not be here if the Academy Guard come by?
Oh, sure. Thank you for getting that information for us. We are so glad that you are safe.
I am certainly glad to be safe as well. It's very strange how the spell for the protection lapsed, and there were maybe 2 or 3 minutes between when the spell ended and when Second's daughter was supposed to be here, and that's when everything went down. It's very curious. I'm not pleased with it whatsoever, but, well, Madam's second daughter is making sure that this time around there will be no lapses in time.
Well, we love this library very much, so I'm sure us students are going to do a little bit of investigating into what happened as well, and we'll be sure to fill you in if we learn anything.
Well, don't get yourselves into any type of trouble, and don't get yourselves hurt. After all, my job is to make sure that you know the things you need to. And if you cannot know them, I don't have a job. But quickly now, out before you get caught.
Okay.
Very well.
Away we go.
When you get back outside, the professor is gone.
No,
and
I had something to tell him.
the professor is not there. Many of the students have dispersed back to the dormitories, and it seems that the gossip around campus is starting now to spread. And that is where this session will end. Thank you, my dear 3 colleagues, for coming and participating.
Yay.
I hope that you had a good time in this extremely, almost no rules light little expedition.
I started a live blog on Tumblr. It's mostly linking to like a YouTube video and screenshotting a certain blog, but I also screenshotted something I put in an Ask box. Just a little bit of reactions.
Amazing. I'm looking at them now. Ah, very good, very good. Wonderful. You guys are fantastic, and I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to share the experience of everything that just went down with you guys, as well as everyone here in the classroom. Cross and Vol, who was here earlier, and Aoi, who was here earlier, and Rev, who was here earlier. The VOD will go up such that it is accessible, if that is something that you guys will want to do. I just kept looking over into chat and seeing like, oh no, oh god, I'm losing my mind. Amazing. But yeah, no, seriously, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, no, thank you for hosting.
I mean, it would have been possible for me to just narrate the whole thing myself, but would that not have been so boring?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm glad to be able to participate in the lore.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it is proved now that, like, despite the possible thoughts to the contrary, many of you guys are canon, like, to the writing. So expect, like, it is not just I, Cosmo Bergamot, writing into the ether and you watching these things, but rather, you are all active participants as well.
And yet I did not get an answer to if a certain individual liked his birthday presents.
I don't think I know what you're talking about, Night Gardenia. I'm just, not in possession of that information. If you want to send me messages, you have my Tumblr. You can send those to me. But that's the only one that I have access to.
Uh-huh.
In the meantime,
This is
however,
fine.
I'm going to take a quick little break, and then after that, if anybody feels like they want to play some video games, I'm thinking maybe we hop into like a session of Risk of Rain or something like that. We can definitely do that. If not, also totally fine. I know that y'all might have stuff that you gotta do. Night Gardenia, by the way, how is your charity stream stuff?
I am very tired after it, even though I only did 6 hours, which was a little less than I'd planned, but
Yeesh.
Only 6.
Ye gods.
I know some people that just do that casually, so. And I replaced my work day with it, so I'm like, well, if I can do an hour of work and then get like 2 to 3 hours of streaming in, then certainly that means that I can. No, doesn't work like that. It was a good time though. It was neato, and
Wonderful.
I was
glad to hear
very
it.
excited for this field trip, though. I did not think I would have the energy after to write the study guide before this trip. But then at like 9:30, I went to, just type up some, hey, we finished the charity streaming. This is how it went. And I figured I'd, just put up some relevant study materials without all of the narrative type. We learned this and that led us to ask about this and gave us these sorts of realizations, and then later this happened and built on that. But I went to link the things, and then I was just going to add a little bit, and then I finished the whole study guide. So that was great.
Wonderful. Full study guide it is. Amazing. I'm pleased about that. Well, there will be more mysteries and things, I'm sure. I don't get to make those rules. After all, I am just a Dungeons and Dragons character VTuber. But I'm sure that more things are going to happen. Keep your eyes out for them.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, let's take a quick little break, and then if anybody wants to do so, I will boot up some Risk of Rain 2, and we can do some sessions like that.
Now, I don't have the game, so if I were to hang around, it'd just be me going, uh-oh, shoot those guys!
You can kibitz if you want to, but, however you like to do it. But in the meantime, we're going on break because I need a new cup of tea. So we'll be back in 5 minutes, everybody. This is a good time for you to get snacks, go to the bathroom, take medicine if you need to take medicine and have not yet done so. But yeah, take care of yourself for the next 5 minutes.
Bye, class!
Thank you.
Now then, let's get started, shall we? Well, that's not the right thing. Now then, let's get back to it, shall we? Excellent. Welcome back. We are both back. Hello again, everybody. I am glad to be back again from the break. I hope that it was good for everyone else. Yeah. Cool. Hey, Toad, are you gonna hop into some Risk of Rain 2 with us for a bit?
Yeah, I think that would be great. I'm loading it
Wonderful.
up.
I am also loading it, and
I can't let you venture all alone. You might get hurt.
Oh yeah, that's never.
I might
happened
get hurt.
before. Welcome back, Cross. Yeah, I don't think anyone's getting hurt. That's totally not a thing that's happening. After all, we've got one of the best counterspellers in the world at the Academy.
Sounds like it, yeah. Oops, that's the wrong. Okay, hold on. Just gonna have to. Okay.
Yeah,
it's
boy, it
clicking
is.
the wrong
It is
thing.
really not. It's really not loading up for me either. I just see all the students over the side, like, oh, thank you, John, Professor. Keep the hat on. That's the thing I wanted to
Wait,
say.
do
Keep the hat on, huh?
Stay safe. This is.
I mean, I keep the hat on most of the time, Night Gardenia. I'll get stuff.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen you without it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't often happen. You can kind of change like how it fits and how it looks and all that just based on the fact that it is magical. So like, you know, I often will like turn it into one of those ridiculous sleep caps that comes like to the like Legend of Zelda Link hat type thing.
Yes.
Because it keeps the hair
Well,
out of
if
my
it can be
face.
anything.
You know, the usual. I would very much like to put in the Fugi for Joan, like so. There you are.
I need to turn this down.
Gotta do this though. Have it be in the right place there. And then I gotta turn off all the other ones. Oh, and I am gone now. That's weird. I'm not supposed to be gone. There I am. Wonderful. All right. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so the thing is finally loading up now, even though it's been taking quite a long time. Amazing. Oop, who do we still
Hello?
have? What?
Looks
Hey,
like
but this
we-
is Mecca. Hi, Mecca. Do you want to come and play
Hello.
Risk of Rain with us?
Yes, I would love to do that because I have been pretty much been doing the exact same dungeon in Destiny pretty much all day.
Oh, no.
It's dedication.
Amazing.
Well,
All right, yeah.
it's more the fact that let me just boot up Risk of Rain. There we go.
Hop on in. Let me see if I've got your Fugi here as well. We do.
Yeah.
Boy, I haven't played this in a hot minute. Let's see if I can remember.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Amazing. Let me just go ahead and turn the game sound down because that is very, very loud.
Maybe we got an update or something, because I feel like it's reset. It's so
Yeah,
loud.
Yeah, everything's way, way back up now. My master volume's all the way up at 100 again. That's nuts. There we go. Mecha sounds out of breath. Me when there's lore. Awesome.
Yeah, I woke up at roughly 10:30, saw a Destiny YouTuber known as Javanis wanted to do some like runs in Warlord's Room, which is the latest dungeon. It's actually a D&D themed dungeon.
I saw you posted about that. That looks interesting.
Yes.
Is it any good? I know you said you've been doing it all day.
Yeah, it is very good. It also has some like Dark Souls themes.
Interesting. All right, well, we can get behind that. Let me just go ahead and we're gonna invite a couple people here. We're just gonna.
Let me check my settings.
Sure would be cool if.
Yeah, my audio is back to 100. I'm lowering it
Yeah,
down
I think
to 40.
something reset. I was recently telling the professor that I just started my adventures in the lands between, and the first thing that I've realized is I am very, very bad at it.
Yeah, well. Lilith was actually playing Dark Souls earlier, and she was asking me, like, have you ever played? And myself, the only thing like that I have done is Dark Souls 1, and I never got through it because I continually had to pick my bones off the ground and put them back in my body, and I kind of, like, stopped. Not that I couldn't do it, but simply that I stopped and then never went back.
I've had so many moments of not sure if under-leveled or just bad in every region I go to.
Yeah,
Oh, great, a giant cave troll. Not sure if under-leveled or just bad.
They have a cave troll.
They have a cave troll.
Try a chimera, and not in the way that you think. I mean, a
not-
giant floating meatball with giant teeth.
Okay, not
Yeah.
great. Definitely not great. Amazing. Night Gardenia, I see that you redeemed legend lore. I'm gonna refund that to you because you just had 2 hours of lore.
Are you not full? There's always
Are
a
you
second
not
stomach for legend
entertained?
lore.
I mean, if anyone wants to, like, me to drop some lore drops, I'm willing to do that for one of the redeems.
I suppose
So-
that's fair. We'll see what we got. I have sent you the invitation to get into the game, Mecha. Have you got it?
Oh, no, I have. Apparently, it did not want to notify me. Thanks, game. Well, thanks, Steam.
Yeah, these things
There we go.
happen, I suppose. All right, let's get ourselves going. Yes, Cross, I did see that you sent Thalen an ask about the Great Wrestler. I'm sure that Thalen will get around to that when the time arises. But in the meantime, we're gonna shoot some aliens. Nothing wrong with alien
Or if you're
shooting.
me, punch.
That's true, yeah. We're gonna Spider-Man some aliens. I've got the artifacts available that make it so that there are no more chests and enemies will drop items. And I've got the one that allows you to choose the items that you get. So, do we want to turn both of those on and make this into like an actual like dungeon crawlers type thing where you kill the guy and take their stuff?
I'm good with that.
All right, there we go. Then kaboom,
Use
like
your
so.
items. Interesting. Okay.
Oh,
Are we
hang
going-
on.
we're going
We're
medium,
not. I
right?
don't. We cannot definitely not do the spawn as a random survivor every time.
Oh god, no. Yeah, no.
Boy, oh boy, that is a rough one to throw in.
Let's switch that one off.
It's definitely big. But yeah, we can do some dumb stuff. Yeah, wonderful. Let's go and do it. But yeah, no, thank you for
Here we
coming
go.
and joining us, Mecha. I'm pleased to have you here.
Yes.
One of these days, I want to get like 8 of us in on a single game and just see like what the monster scaling is like.
Oh gosh.
This is not the level we normally start on.
It's not.
That's weird.
Who cares?
I mean, I'll take it, like, you know, whatever, but
Oh,
I'm
that's yep.
curious about
Yep,
that.
avoid that. Oh, hello there.
there we go. So, kill lots of guys to get items is the way that this one goes. The more guys we
Boy.
kill, the more items we can get out of them. And money is basically only good for, like, drones and, turrets and things now. And shrines, I suppose. I just
Crusty.
see Mecha Spider-Manning up into the sky and killing guys. It's like, yeah, this works.
Not exactly, no, but I mean, I'm
Oh gosh,
just
I don't
like,
even remember these.
I'm literally just orbiting.
let me see if I. It's just just flying around in a circle. Amazing, I love it. Oh, it's very good. Do you need some help, Mecha?
Yes. For the love of Satan's beard. Thank you.
Oh, it was amazing. It just looked up and it was like, this is the version of Mecha that just oscillates. It's that TikTok audio. I'm spinning like a ballerina.
No, you spin me right round, baby, right round.
Also better, yes. Didn't some like R&B or rap artist do a cover question mark of that song?
Yeah,
feel
Flow
like
Rider with Kesha.
Is that how you say his name? Oh my god, I've been calling him
Yes.
Florida for years.
Yeah, Florida, but it is like a nod to Florida.
I've just straight up been calling him Florida. Alright, that's fine. Everything is fine.
Oh, that is not what I meant to... Oh well.
Amazing. Ooh, someone got a ukulele. Very nice. That's the way to go for...
I haven't gotten anything.
Oh no! Yeah, all I've picked up
Oh,
so
no.
far is a
Yeah,
teddy
they're like
bear.
little boxes that they drop.
Let's see if we can't pick up some turret. Oh, there is a crashed ship over here. It would be cool if we ever got lore from inside of this game. Let me just get some... There we go.
We just got a lot of new lore for Half-Life. Did you see any of that?
I'm sorry, Half-Life? Like Half-Life, the game that hasn't been updated in 15 years, Half-Life?
Yeah, it hit its 25th anniversary, so they released the original demo. There was like a 30-minute demo where it was supposed to sort of show people who bought a certain sound card what the game was.
Interesting.
And so they released the demo, and they basically reskinned things again to make it more like the way that it was in the, very original version.
That's wild.
And they released a documentary as well about the creation of Half-Life.
Huh. That's wild. I
So,
did not
yeah,
know about
lots
that
of-
at all.
Lots of new Half-Life lore, if anybody needs to go back to Black Mesa.
Maybe Black Mesa. Let's hit this boss and just fight a bunch of guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I hate these stupid mantas. They're like the worst new...
They're so fuzzy, though.
Yeah, but they're also very easy to get killed by. Hello,
That's
Stone
more
Titan.
than fair.
Just gonna drop one of these down there, make sure that my health does not go very low. Oh, hi there, Miss Emmy. I am sad that you missed the first portion of the stream. Nevertheless, I'm glad that
that's
you are
done.
here now. One down, one more to go.
Well, what's next?
Just gonna plant a flower on this dude's back.
I missed. Oh, that's such a shame.
I'm breaking these kneecaps. Don't mind me.
Excellent. Ooh, look at all the items we've gotten here. I will take my share. Like so.
I took
Alright.
one. Or do we get? Are we two?
Because we did the Shrine of the Mountain, it gives us double the items. So yeah, you get 2 green items out of it.
Excellent.
Mecha, you should go and get your haul as well.
I missed again.
That's so unfortunate.
I don't know what would be good for me.
You want stuff like Tri-Tip Dagger and like the Infusion would probably be good. You might also want to get like the Shurikens would probably be decent. There we go. Get rid of these. God, I hate these guys so much. I have died so many times from the
someone-
random mooks.
Oh, there's a red here.
Ooh. That's an equipment. It's an orange. You can have it.
Oh, you're right.
All right, well, we're 6 minutes in. This doesn't seem that bad. Should we go through?
Oh, that's such a bad. It picks up an equipment that would be good for usual, but not good in this setting.
Oh, well, radar scanner is good for getting us every drone on the map now.
That's very true. Very true. You're
Wow,
such a
we're-
positive thinker, and I appreciate that about you, Professor.
I do what I can. I mean, sometimes things are bad, and we do our best to make them not bad. Phelan's archives,
Yes,
for
if
instance,
anyone
are
wants to
currently... Go on.
Yeah, if anyone wants to redeem the legend lore stuff on your channel, I'm willing to drop my lore.
You know, I'm actually down for that. Night Gardenia did one earlier, and I have not yet refunded it. So why don't you tell us some stuff about you, Mecha?
Okay. Mecca was exiled for committing mass genocide.
Oh, Christ! All right, we're starting off strong, I guess.
Okay,
hell.
well, that's yeah.
This was due to a fit of rage, because originally Mecca was going to be married to demons of the male variety that were just going to use her for purposes of breeding.
Yeah,
She
that's not
didn't
great.
want that. So she pretty much just killed an entire offspring of a family, and they had ties to the prince.
Not going to be that great of a time. Okay, I get you.
Originally, she was going to be executed, but because of her parents being also of high lineage, she was given a lesser sentence of exile.
Okay, I mean, exile is certainly better than death.
So she was exiled to Night City.
Of all the
in-
places.
Yeah. But, because obviously she was normal, she got into the wrong area, being of Pacifica, where she came across some demon hunters. And they immediately saw her and started chasing her throughout the city, and nearly killed her.
Excellent.
Which then she was nearly up by the streets of Watson by the time that she was fatally injured, literally tinged, her right arm was sliced off,
Oh, yikes.
and she was pretty much on the brink of death. Which is then, for the last moment, she was saved by the Queen of Fixes, Rogue, and Menderes.
Okay. So you got some connections now.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm glad to know more about that so far. If you're willing to give us
Yeah.
more, we're willing to take it.
That one's literally the middle section.
Oopa, oopa, oh, this is what I get for trying to pick up an item and then guys show up. I'm just over here like, why didn't I try to get the... Oh no! Bad times for everyone. Just gonna do one of these. Excellent. Let's see, what do we got going on? Hey, John, do you want to pop that radar scanner so we can figure out where the teleporter is?
I would love to in 10 seconds.
Ah, thank you, 10. Just gonna do a little bit of this.
In 3.
Thank
You heard me not counting 2 and 1, right?
Correct. Thank you for that. All right, it's off in the.
There it is.
in that
Teleport's over
direction.
there.
Wonderful. Good place to be. Just go ahead and take care of this greater wisp right here.
Slapped you.
Man, this guy is much bigger than he looks. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. You guys can leave me here all alone by myself. I'll be fine.
Great. I'm so glad.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that that's the thing that has happened to you.
That's my new archetype. Person who doesn't understand passive aggression. Oh, great.
Amazing. I love it. Ah, come on. There's so many little void guys out here right now. I don't want to deal with them. And yet, they will come and kill me if I do not. Okay.
Split up, gang. I'm making my way back.
Making my way. Thanks, Freddy. Let's split up, gang. We'll do this one. There we go. Alright, now I'm gonna head back the... Yeah, okay. Seems like you guys have come
Oh my
to
god,
my
there's
aid.
so many enemies here.
Yeah, several of them have shown up all at once, which is fine. You know, everything
lot of
is done that
friends.
way. We can call them friends. It will be
You are-
factually inaccurate, but we can call them that.
You're blessed with company.
A crossover here in the chat being like, I heard the void word. This game uses that word.
So just Warframe.
Excellent.
John,
Yes,
tank,
who?
DPS, or support?
Usually DPS. Sometimes support.
Okay.
Really depends.
Okay. How does it sound to control things of the earth?
It sounds right up my typical alley.
Then Corvex is probably up your alley. Corvex, if you don't know, he is the 55th Warframe that is coming out this month in the newest update, Whispers in the Wall, and he's literally concrete.
Interesting.
He can summon pylons of radiation,
Oh no!
and he can summon 2 giant walls that slam into the enemies. It's actually
Oh,
quite
very
fun.
nice.
I can't remember what his second. I can't remember what his third done again, but I know his fourth is a giant laser in his chest.
Amazing, good. Chest lasers are always great. Oh boy.
Oh gosh. I
feel
have
like-
28. I'm gonna dash for just a minute.
Yeah, might not be the worst idea, John. I feel like at some point Mecha is gonna swindle me into playing Warframe, and I'm gonna enjoy it. And this is to be like, ah, shoot, now what?
Yeah, I definitely. There's
You
several
probably will.
franchises I feel that way about.
Like
I
keep
mean,
looking
it
over
is
at-
really good.
I
I
am
actually
sure
want
that
to
it
try
is.
and swindle Night Gardenia.
It would definitely be an interesting group to do. But like, you know, people have been trying to do that for me for like tons of media all the time. And it's not impossible. I have been swindled before.
Fool me
Also,
once.
I have like. I'm just getting a bunch of like bleeding. So everything's literally bleeding right now.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm on 60% bleeding.
Jesus. Alright. I gotta get something that's gonna be useful here. It's gonna be Teddy Bear. Guess who's got 5 teddy bears? Alright, let's do this.
Oh man.
Oh, look. It's the Queetle Bean. Oh,
Dude, I
they're
told you not to call me that!
the Beetle Queen and her sister, the Queetle Bean.
Queedle Bean and Queedle Beaner? Beanier?
Queetle Bean and Queetle Bum, we'll go with that.
Bummer? Yeah.
Jeez. I have wanted for the longest time to run a tabletop session set specifically in Wonderland.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
I do think it would be rad. I think there are many problems with it, however, that would be very difficult to get around. Someone's got a green item. If you have not gotten
Not
your
me.
boss item
I'm
yet.
gonna-
Oh yeah, I gotta get to it. Yep. I'm just trying to stay alive.
I will help.
I am not certain what the best green item would be. to be honest.
For you, you might get ukulele more. You might get infusion. You might get the. Oh no! Oh no! You
Or
might
murdered.
get nothing.
You might get
Get
murdered.
murdered.
You get nothing, sir.
Good day. All right, Mecha, do you want the
Good
green
day.
item then?
Yeah, you guys should definitely pick that up.
You're just gonna loot the body. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
Did you loot my body?
I mean,
No, I.
yeah, but you know, only.
Let it return to the earth.
Well, I mean, you're a sort of very moist type. You will decay faster than we will.
There you go.
I am to
back
understand that Mecha probably wouldn't decay in the first place, being a cyber demon and all of that.
Troubling.
It depends on the organic part.
Suppose that's true. Oh, look at all the purple guys. So many purple guys call this Five Nights at Freddy's. I will see myself out.
No, we
Yes,
need you.
I physically cringe.
Alright, I'm just gonna put those down in there. Kill the void people.
Okay, we can walk on this. I wasn't sure. I mean, it said sulfur pits, so
Sulfur pit. That doesn't sound
isn't that
great.
what this level said?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not walking in that water.
It definitely doesn't seem like the best of times. There are still 12.
But it doesn't seem like the worst of times.
Boy, oh boy.
Are they all in the void?
I mean, there are several of. Are there 3 overlapping? Okay, it looks like there's 2. I'll go check out the other one.
Ow.
What have we got over here?
Jeez. That
Oh
guy just
man!
chewed through my health.
Oh no! He certainly seems to chew through your whole body.
God, I'm in a loop now.
So what we gotta do is next level we gotta try to beef John up some.
Something's up. I'm in a one would call it a death loop at this point.
Deathloop. Isn't that the name of a game that came out in the last couple years, Deathloop?
It is,
Yes.
and it's very good. I enjoyed it immensely.
I need to like focus my attention on what games exist recently because I am not aware of so many of them.
I'm pretty far behind, and my backlog continues to feel depressed whenever I don't know, load up another
Load up
Baldur's
the
Gate 3
same
adventure
game that you
or-
have played 1,000 times.
Exactly.
I have done this many times as well.
Although the deck of Steams is helping a lot now.
I can only imagine. Did you get the OLED version or is it the old one?
I got the 1 terabyte, the OLED version. Mhm.
Impressive. How is it? Is it good?
It's fantastic. I just wish that when I tried to order it, Steam had it was having a little trouble with its cart, so I tried to get the translucent one, but ended up with the non-translucent version. But it
Ugh.
plays all the same, and boy, it is great for chewing through your backlog,
Excellent.
especially when you're not like at home. So
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense.
fantastic.
Where are the other void seeds? Because there's so many of them. Where are they? Where are you? Where? Oh, seriously though, like where are these things? Oh, they're all down in this cave.
Oh, there's
I
a
bet.
cave.
Yeah, this is what it is.
That's troubling.
I'm just gonna. Can I not? Okay, I guess I have to go inside to do it.
Ouch,
Yep,
ouch,
yep,
ouch,
they're in here.
Ouch.
We're just gonna throw down some health recovery and then run away for a moment.
Run away!
Thank you, King Arthur. Alright, we're gonna. Here we go. Throw down some health regen. Boy, oh boy, where are the rest of them? Oh my god, this level sucks.
There's still, what, 10?
There's 5
No,
more. I
5.
mean, oh, I'm being shot. Oh, this is bad. Oh, we're leaving. That is one
Already
of the
ahead of you.
minigun guys. Oh my god, there's so many of them!
Yeah,
Holy
they
crap.
just ripped through me. So,
Oh my god, there's so many!
yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
crap. That was
Nice job
rough.
surviving that. That was a lot.
Oh my god, that was rough. Holy
That was so much.
Just like 5.
There
Okay.
going.
I just roll up like, we are here for murder.
Have you seen our big guns? Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're here for like the murder, and like, you know, if you're not into that, sorry, but like it's our job. Where are the other
There would have
bloody
been twice as many of us, but you know, cutbacks.
budget? God, the next time I hear budget cuts, I just keep looking back at like the theater department of the mundane university that I went to. Just like, all right.
I
Oh,
just recently found
Golden
out
orb
the
appears.
Yeah.
group
we
I've been
get to-
helping with had its budget cut in half, so
Oh
sort
my
of glad to
God.
be leaving that client.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no!
Oh no, Mecca!
All right, I'm bailing.
I
Heck
just got
this level.
Yeah.
No!
Like all the void things and heck that. We're leaving. We are leaving. Good riddance to this level. This level sucks, and I am gone.
Was it a bunch of guys with miniguns?
Yes.
Yep, that
They're
tracks.
the worst.
Don't mind me. We're just gonna stack teddy bears until the cows come home. Oh God. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh jeez. No.
someone say guys with miniguns?
No, go away.
No.
No, we hate you.
Oh.
Let's just throw some health regen over here. We're just gonna drop as many orbital lasers as. Oh no! There's guys!
Cosmo. Oh no.
No, crud. All right.
Someone
all
said
right.
something about hating us. We just had to disprove that.
Why don't you get dead? Oh my God! Why so many of these guys? Jesus! It's oh my God! Why? Go away! Nope, they got me. They got me.
Yeah, there was way too many of them. for
There's
just-
like the minigun
especially once we
dudes.
abandoned you.
Those minigun guys just really wreck. Oh my God.
They do.
All right, we can try one more time, I think. Actually, how are we doing for time on all of y'all? Because we're almost at the 3-hour mark for me.
I don't care.
John, what
I'm
about you?
working to figure that out. Give me 2 seconds.
Excellent. I will look at the other guys. I have tried the mercenary several times, and I cannot do it. Melee characters do not sit with me. I can't do it. Like, it's so rough.
I mean, I want to unlock the other characters. There's one character I want to unlock that is under pause.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay, yeah, let's do one more then. Do we want to turn the artifacts back to being chests?
Sure.
Or do you want to
sure.
keep it where it is?
Whichever you guys prefer.
Any opinions, Mecca?
No preferences.
Alright, let's keep it the way it is then.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go back to Plant Robot. It's the only one that I can reliably do anything with.
That's how I feel about this. I'd love to be better with the others, but
I mean, eventually we'll probably have to do like some training where it's like, okay, pick the character, go through, go till you die 3 or 4 times, know how you do it. All right, let's go. All right, kaboom.
all right. Maybe this time.
I think we started in this level last time as well. Wonder if maybe they've changed the rotation or something.
Perhaps.
Well, there are a lot of drones in this level, that's for sure. So we can probably try to pick as many of those up as possible. Ah, welcome back, Vol. Good to see you twice. Oh, I keep trying to do double jumps, but I haven't gotten the feather yet.
Yep, we've started over.
I'm gonna go and get some drones. We're just gonna run over to where all these little bits of smoke are, and we'll pick up the healing drone. There we go. Nice. I do like the way that this game just plays in general. Like, it's fun. It's a decent like thing to do with friends, which is probably the best part about it. Cause like you can play this game solo fine, but like it's so much better when you got more people.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's do this one. Kablam! Nice shot. Well done. I was gonna drop
You're welcome.
I was gonna drop an orbital on him, but then he says, "Oh no! What if he just stopped existing before I got there?" Okay, we can work with that. Amazing. We've got ukulele. Oh, found the teleporter.
Perfect.
Uh-oh. Don't mind me, just gonna... There we go. 2
The
healing
infusion,
drones.
is that a typical item or is that a green item?
It's a green.
Okay.
White
Is
items...
it a red tube?
Yes, it's the one that looks like a test tube full of blood.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
And it is very good. If you stack like 4 or 5 of those, then every time you kill someone, your health goes up a noticeable amount. Oi, oi,
Shooting
mate.
mecha.
Get you out of the sky here. Do we wanna pop this teleport?
I'm good with that. Let's see, can I get this drone yet?
Oh, is it this big thing
Can't.
here? Yeah.
Oh, that's environment data. Oh, that was useless.
Shrug.
Oh, well.
Worst things have happened. Let's go! We got the Beetle Queen. Well, let's show the Beetle Queen what's for. What Beetle Queen? Mecha, you got an achievement. What achievement did you get?
Beat a boss in under 15 seconds.
Nice.
Very well done.
So what boss? We do not suffer bosses. Bosses suffer.
I'm just...
Are you doing okay, Mecha?
It's just the aerial ones that are
Difficult for you?
just... pretty much.
Oh yeah, because you're playing the railgunner, right?
Yeah.
Those guys are somewhat more difficult to get your sights on perfect, yeah. Ooh, nice. Alright.
If it just leave the big guys to me, because, like, I come one-shot them.
That's true. We will pick off the straggly boys, and then you can take the large guys. Then again, John, you also can one-shot most of the normal guys as well. So I will also be here.
Yeah, it depends on the... Yeah, some of the ads I can take out in one shot, for sure.
Works out nice.
Okay,
This is a
let's
good team,
get
though.
going then.
Yeah,
Wanna get
let's do it.
going?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see if I can't
Get
do
going, we
the
shall.
shrine trick. Yeah, we got it. I did the Shrine of
work.
Blood trick, so now I get to keep some gold. It actually worked this time. Oopa. There we go. Got rid of those little void seed guys. I'm just gonna see if I can stay on the outside of this horrible health draining field and still hit the stuff inside.
Same.
Don't worry, they'll give us some kind of cave underneath that we'll have to...
Oh, I'm sure of it.
This is fine, though. Looks like they're coming to us. And
We do have to kill those little run-aroundy boys, too, though. And those are hard for me to kill, at least, because my projectiles are slow. There we go. Nice. Good shot. There are 5 more purple guys. Alright, we're going in. This is a bad decision. We're
Yeah,
coming back
much.
out.
They're on the. There's 2 on the left.
Ah, I see him. Orbital laser time. There we go. Hey, we got it. Well done. Nicely done. We're just gonna pick ourselves
that's
up.
Probably 'cause
Mecha's
I-
talent as a sharpshooter.
Mecha shoots far, you shoot hard, and I am a plant.
Alright, there we go. Alright, I've got 2 infusions now.
Ah, impressive. Very good. You also probably want to stack crit rate. You want to stack glasses. Does that seem... Oh my god, there's another Shrine of the Mountain. Do we want to fight 3 bosses?
We're on medium so far, so... Yep. Here we go. 3 bosses it is.
Speaking of that, teleporter. Oh my god, did I find Do we want to fight 4 bosses, you guys?
Is there a 4th? Oh my god.
There's another one.
Do it! Do it!
Do it, why not?
Double.
Fortune favors the bold. I feel like you're doing the thing where you're like, you send it for council approval, but before the council approval comes back, you're like, well, we're doing it.
Yeah, right. That seems pretty
Now
accurate.
we're just like, fuck it, we ball.
Amazing.
Well, it's
All right.
easier to ask for apologies than...
Okay, so there's gonna be 4 bosses now. Are you 2 ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Please don't be Horde of Many. Ah, okay, this is not so bad. There's only 4 giant stone robots. It's completely okay. Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh geez. Maybe less okay. Okay, yeah, no, we're fine. This is great.
Everything is awesome.
There's so many Stone Titans here. We love it.
Stone Titans, go!
When there's trouble, we are made of rocks.
Stone Titans! Ow, ow,
I keep
ow.
getting pushed off.
Oh no. Don't worry about it, it'll be fine. You can come right back up. Oh my, there's still so much, like, how is there so much health still left in this bar?
There's 69,300 hit points to get through.
Oh no, Mecha!
Oh no, Mecha!
Yeah, I got yeeted.
Mecha!
The Yobot seems incredibly focused on you, Cosmo.
Yeah, it's almost because, you know, maybe I'm the only one that was
Almost,
visible by
okay,
that
alright.
guy, huh? Just gonna, we're gonna stay out of that for a second.
Let that cook for a minute.
I have to find my way back up there anyway. And
Who's
go
Hey,
around the
I
wall.
said we're
Oh,
looking
no,
at
John!
smoke.
No!
Oh god, no!
It's up to me! Everything lies on my shoulders.
Someone found my camp.
Oh no.
You got this, oh god. Where did he come from?
Where did he go? Where did he come from? Blazing Stone Titan. Oh, this. Oh no! Wow. Okay.
Oh no!
Wow, that hit me real hard.
Oh.
Oh, that hit.
Then again, I only got 2 items. That was it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
fair.
never got
Cosmo.
anything from the first
I knew
one.
him well, Mecha.
I knew him. Okay. So I think maybe that's it for me tonight.
I think I'd better dash off to what's next.
Amazing. This was super fun, though. Thank you for coming and playing with us. Well, everybody. Thank everyone for coming and being here. I super appreciate it, and I'm always happy to, have people pop in for game and that sort of business. Thank you to everyone in the classroom who also is here, whether you were here for lore stream or not. That VOD will be uploaded as soon as we are done with the broadcast here. I hope that everyone had a pretty darn good time. Let's see who is around that we can throw everyone at. Let's see. Do either of you have a suggestion, John or Mecca?
Not particularly in my end, no.
Let me see who I've got going on.
I'm taking a look.
Noi is doing some stuff, and Noi is pretty cool. We haven't raided Noi very often. I see crossover here with the correct Shakespeare quote. Very good. Let's see. Anko is doing stuff. Oh, let's go say hi to Misty. Misty is a Minecraft player who I played on Candle World with. And who might just be a participant in a secret project that will be happening in January. So we go /raid Misty Joy 11, like that. Excellent. Here's the raid message. We're gonna go raid like this, and then have it be the Let's type correctly. Professors, students have come to ponder the cube. And then the other raid message thing looks like this. Here is our raid message, everybody. I am very thankful that everyone is here to hang out and play and do this stuff. We will catch everyone again the next time around, which should, in theory, be on Monday for me. Play that, John. What about you? What are you doing next?
I think that, I'll probably be doing a stream or two until the new year, but I think really the new year is when things will start more in earnest. So, yeah, check out twitch.tv/playthatjohn come the new year.
Excellent. And what about you, Mecca?
Monday, I'm going to be focusing on Warframe, because obviously the new Nightwave is out. If everyone is watching the Game Awards on the Thursday night, I believe, the 7th, they are doing a Twitch drop for one of the Warframes known as Sevagoth. He's pretty much a JoJo-esque frame. So he's a really good start. But
Excellent.
he takes a taste getting used to. But
oh, raid's happening.
since I've 100% completed.
The raid's happened.
okay.
I'm sorry, I had pushed it and it was going. Excellent, though.
There we
Yeah,
go.
this was super cool. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I'm very pleased that happened.